All right, what's up? Court is adjourned.
Point of order.
Doing what point of orders?
Point of order.
So, this is that spoiler-free shit that we was talking about.
Spoiler-free? This is where we do the spoilers, isn't it?
Oh, shit. This is what we was talking about on the spoiler-free. That's what I meant to say. This is what we was talking about on the spoiler-free. That we doing a spoiler-heavy about, I guess, I don't know how long, about a month and some change at this point, out from the initial release.
Damn near 2 months. Yeah.
About 2 months. I should have all beat it. The ending's confusing. Let's reacquaint people. First of all, if you haven't seen the spoiler-free, I suggest you go and do so. Those are very raw thoughts. This is my boy Joey Styles, my childhood
Get out my gut.
best friend. This is Mr. Grimm. I apologize. We can always edit that.
Yes, we can. I try to have people. Mr. Styles, are you the one for ATW?
I apologize. I used it was Mr. Grimm. He was on the last episode. This is only the second episode. So yeah, Final Fantasy connoisseurs, the both of us. Let me make sure you get a little shot. Say hi to the personal camera. We talked about how many hours we had when we first was playing. I'm sure we put on about 20 or so hours after that. I know I put about 20 hours. I was around 80, 90. I'm like 110, 115 hours.
Yeah.
Those are rookie numbers, right?
For someone who platinumed it, yeah.
Yeah. So you platinumed. I'm not even doing, I'm still doing normal mode shit. I'm not even doing hard mode. So those are non-hard mode numbers. What is yours overall?
Non-hard mode. Hard mode was the easy part. The fucking, the combat sims is what took the most time.
Really?
What's the other one? The combat sims and the goddamn sit-up contest.
So that's the hardest mini game for you.
Yeah, it's just stupid.
It's so crazy.
It's so dumb.
I got that shit was a breeze for me. Not a breeze, I shouldn't say. But that's one of the harder ones that I was like, all right, that's not what's giving me problems. It was a lot of the chocobo shit.
Chocobo was easy.
See, it's so weird how that works.
Because I'm white and I don't have rhythm, so I can't just.
That's what you got to tap into the ancestors on that shit.
Yes.
Real shit.
Yes. Rick James was with me when I finally did it.
They summoned you in that trifecta of Rick James, Carrie Fisher, and
the drum beat from when Luffy goes Gear 5 was playing as I did it. I hear him, Joy Boy.
So how many hours?
I think it was 180 when I finished.
Fuck.
Yeah. Hey. I think it was 180.
See, I'm a guy who's making content out of this shit. So, like, I've been consumed by it, but I haven't even had 180 hours of that shit. So how are you feeling after playing 180 hours of Final Fantasy?
Well, I wasn't too tired because I played Crisis Core Reunion right afterwards.
Yeah.
I played Final Fantasy VI like a psychopath.
It sent him on a whole, like, Final Fantasy rampage.
On a mission. Platinum 1 through 10, which I've just got to do 1 through 5 at this point.
All right, so how are you feeling about the game? Like, outside of the ending, how are you feeling about combat now that it's growing on you? How are you feeling about story? How are you feeling about, besides the ending, how are you feeling about just maybe the mini games? How are you feeling overall?
The mini games can go somewhere.
You're not feeling the mini games?
Well, the mini games are fine, but having to get high scores in all of them to get not the trophies, but the stuff for Johnny.
Yeah.
Go somewhere. I don't need to get first place in everything. That's just too much.
Yeah, that's very demanding.
The only one that I don't really care for is the exercise mini games. I'm just tired of that.
What about the War Condor and
that wasn't so hard once you get used to it.
The Gambits.
The Gambits was just. They'll probably improve on that. It was whatever. I didn't care for it. Honestly.
Yeah.
I didn't hate it, but I was like, whatever. This is done. I'm done here.
Gambit was one of the ones that Fort Condor was pretty annoying. That's probably the one I hate the most. But the Gambit's one, it's not too bad. I didn't care for it.
Well, spoiler alert, people, if you put it on hard, but you put the combat on easy or something, it makes it easier to do.
Oh, for real?
Your ATB goes up way quicker. I think it's if you're doing the hard mode for Condors and you put the game difficulty on easy, it makes it go up faster. So there's a little cheat.
Oh shit!
Yeah, which is what I did.
Yeah,
I wasn't with that crap.
Yeah, nah. If I can, That's good to know, because when the next game comes out, I'm probably going to play hard mode then, and then I'm just
much like you did with this one.
Much like, and never be, by the way. I have not played a single second of Intergrade.
Well, to be fair, you didn't have much time, because then you got the game code from the people, and it was like, well, we're done. I gave up on Persona 3 Reload. Phenomenal game, but...
Yeah, we got that shit. I think the demo came out the day before.
It did, the day before. Yeah.
And I played that shit, and then the next day the code came out, and I was right in the middle of, I just beat Hell House on a remake, and I was trying to get through the game to get to Intergrade, and it never happened.
Yeah.
So how you feeling about combat and this shit? Especially
they improved it a lot.
A lot.
The pairing stuff is a godsend, especially on hard.
Yeah.
Especially on Rufus. I'm looking at you, Rufus. The Rufus fight, the
one
in the Muscle Dome, I think it's called.
Yeah.
And Golden Saucer.
Golden Saucer, yeah.
Yeah, that really helped. And it also helped on like Sephiroth, the last fight, because that on hard, he's pretty easy. But when it gets to the point where you got to stagger him and you got to kill him immediately, or he just kills you with that Sin Heartless Angel shit.
I can never get staggered on him, like when he his wing comes out and shit like that. I can never do it in time.
That's when you gotta have your limit ready right in there to hit him, because that's what gave me the most trouble on hard. It wasn't even hard. It was just, if I didn't kill him when his stagger bar ended, he's gonna kill you instantly.
Yeah.
And I did it like 5 times. And by the time I was done, it was 12:30, and I was like, this is the latest I've been up in so long.
Yeah, Final Fantasy had me up at absurd hours of the fucking night. And I was I was going to work the next day type shit.
Yes.
It was tough to manage both lives.
Yes, it was.
When you're outside, all you're doing is thinking about the game.
And your poor girlfriend is just sitting there like,
I've lost them.
I lost them, but that's okay.
That was my words exactly. Yeah. Well, I'm going to switch camera angles.
But she put up with this. She's a good egg.
She's a good egg.
Yes, in the words of Jim Norton. And not in the ways that Jim Norton meant it either.
And then what was the last ones I was saying? I was saying minigame, combat, and what was the third? Story. And because, we had points of contention about certain things changing, we can finally say it. It's Zack.
Yeah, he's alive, apparently.
It's Zack being alive, Zack being playable.
Yeah.
Zack existing. There's some things that... So what I was trying to say is that, in all multiverse stories, which I guess we can both agree that this is a fucking multiverse story we're dealing with.
Basically, yeah.
Like, there are some things that should always be... what is it, a Nexus moment?
Nexus, I guess.
Like a Nexus event.
Yeah.
And Zack dying should be that. Same what they did with Aerith. Like, Aerith dies. Like, that's a thing. And I'm so glad that was a thing. That would have made me upset.
I thought they were going to kill Tifa when he stabs her into the water and the weapon eats her. I was like, this is fucking bullshit.
Yeah. I was like, it's too soon for us to be... But I do like that they did that.
Yeah.
Like, they're expanding on Tifa's story in a way in the original that it's not really.
I know.
Like, the most that she gets is, like, revealing clouds kind of shit. And her shit is kind of like, she's the only one that doesn't really get a prop. So I'm hoping that's what we're doing with that shit. Mm-hmm. Her, like, having this connection with the live stream through the weapons and shit.
Yeah.
But yeah, my worst case scenario, which thank God it didn't happen, is that you ended up, like, in the last chapter with a party of Zack, Cloud, and Aerith. That's what I was... Yeah.
You kind of get that, but not
fully. Like, you're not controlling them, but it is all three of them in some weird Midgar kind of place.
I don't like Zack, everybody. I've never liked him. I don't like Aerith either. She's all right.
See, yeah, right. I like Aerith. She's all right.
I hope so.
I like Zack. But I'm not happy to see him in this capacity. Yeah. But I am interested to see what Nomura does with this shit. It's not like it's gonna make me not play the next game and type shit.
I may have said that when he stabbed at Tifa. I knew right there. I was like, this is a lie. I was telling myself.
That was iffy.
And yes, I'm wearing sunglasses at 9:00 at night. I'm the inverse of him. He's black, I'm white. He's got clear glasses, I don't.
In my apartment. Yes. In my bedroom. Yeah, these are, like, if there was sun in my eyes, they would turn into sunglasses. It's not. Yeah. So yeah, those are kind of my overall thoughts. I liked it. I enjoyed it a lot. This is my most anticipated game of this year.
Oh God,
you too?
Yes, and the fact that I got it when I got it, it's even better.
That's what's so weird. Like the shit came out at the beginning of the year, and it's my most anticipated game. So now, like the rest of the year, it's just like, what else?
Isn't Delta coming out this year?
Is that coming out this year?
I don't know.
We're pretty big Metal Gear fans. He's the Metal Gear king.
Junkie for it. Yes, that's the proper word.
All right, so let's talk about the ending.
Talk about it.
How do you interpret this shit? I'm a Kingdom Hearts fan. I'm used to dealing with Tetsuya Nomura.
I mean, this man has obviously lost his mind.
Lost his mind.
I mean, he's sitting there talking to her, and everybody's like crying. He's like, "What's wrong?" It's like, "She's dead, you dummy." I'm gonna be 100% with you. I remember the ending, but I don't remember everything about it because it's been a minute at this point.
Well, yeah, it's true. Like you beat the ending, and then you have so much shit to play on.
Yeah, I had a lot of stuff to do.
So for me, like, okay, so like, how do you interpret like him having this black materia?
Same thing as the original.
Same thing as the original.
Yeah.
Like, so why is it a white materia at first? Like he sees a white materia
because the government, you see.
You think it's just his mind playing more tricks on him? Yeah. Like he's just seeing what he needs to see.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's Sephiroth controlling him and see what he wants him to see, and etc. So on and so forth.
You know what fucked me up? Like he had no slots on his weapon, but he was able to slot materia into his sword. I can't get over that.
That's all right.
That bugs me. What is that about?
That is, I can't think of the word honestly.
Because like we watched recently. Yeah, we recently watched Advent Children, and I was like, all right, Kadaj and them, the trio, they put in the materia like right in their skin type shit. Yeah, is this a thing that only a reunion person can do?
It's possible.
It's possible, right? That's because they don't make. I don't like that. It don't make no sense.
I want to say he might be hiding because do they know that he has it?
No, he's sneaking it.
He's sneaking it around, and that's why he's hiding it.
Yeah, but I don't see. I hate when games do that shit because like. I'd be wanting to slot materia, but if you can just do some shit like that, you got a secret compartment.
Slot it into the weapon?
Yeah, you got a secret compartment, motherfucker. Make it available in game.
You want it so you can just kill people in one shot.
Yeah, let me lick my shit and have all. I don't. That shit bugs me. I hate when games do shit like that.
Yeah.
But so what do you think about Aerith? Like, is she just gonna be showing up just a cloud?
She will. She'll just show up the way she did in Advent Children,
right? Just a bit more prominent because you just hear the voiceover, you see like the little live stream shits, and
I'm sure she'll appear. I'm sure they wanted her to appear in the original one a lot, but they were just like, there's limitations back then. Now there's like no limitations whatsoever. They can just do what they want. Obviously, I don't really mean that, so don't be.
I really
foolish.
You know what I really love the final fight where it's Cloud and it's Aerith at the same time.
Yeah.
Like, that's pretty dope. It reminded me of Twilight Princess.
Oh, yeah.
Like the end to that shit?
Yeah, the second to last fight.
We need healing.
We need healing. I wish I could. The first thing he does is go after her to impale her. And I'm like, well, on hard mode, I can't use items, so I'm low on HP, dear. I need you to stay alive.
Yeah, I realized, like, you can only prep with her, and you cannot be focused on her because she will die.
She will die immediately. You got to put that little arcane thing that makes her shoot the laser.
Yes.
Lustrous shield.
Sit her there and move the fight away with Cloud.
Yes.
Because and I like that strategy. And I hope that they do something similar like that in the next game. What do you think the next game is going to be? They thought it was going to be Reunion, but they can't use Reunion because they used it for Crisis Core on the re-release. Because I thought Reunion would have been perfect.
I can't remember what I thought it was going to be. Revival or some shit like that.
Yeah, something like
Resurrection.
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 Like fucking Halloween Resurrection.
Yes, yeah. Trick or treat, Sephiroth.
I was going to say, no Buster where you can get Barrett with dreads.
Yes.
Just the crazy Buster.
Or he gets his Advent Children fit, which you so adore.
I don't even talk about that.
Eventually are.
All right, so we're going to talk about what we want in the future in the next title. Great segue. So, the next game, since they didn't explore it here, there's a lot of shit that they didn't explore in this section where, like, Aerith is still alive. And maybe it's probably going to get moved to the third game.
Oh, yeah.
For me, this is technically speaking, I did Wu-Tai while Aerith was alive in the original game.
Yeah.
Most people, I don't know if most people probably do it afterwards, right?
I think I did it afterwards all the time.
Right. So what are you looking for in Wu-Tai? You got the integrated shit, so her story's been expanded a great deal. There's that whole other guy that's there that shows up and like when you're controlling her for a little bit.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. I haven't done Intergrade still yet. So I just bought Intergrade on PS5 or is it called Intergrade, the PS5 version?
Yes, Intergrade.
Yeah, I just bought that for an insane amount because I'm stupid and have to have my stuff on physical.
Right.
So I'm going into that, but I know what character you're talking about
because he shows up,
and
he shows up in the last chapter when you're
running on the wall.
Yeah, you're doing her little in the ancient area. So once, I kind of don't want her to like steal all your materia.
She probably
is gonna. Yeah.
She's not stealing my Knights of the Round, so that's okay.
Oh, we gotta talk about that. I don't have that.
I wonder if that'll be something, but
that has to be.
She's probably gonna steal it just because I'm sure that's where Don Corneo will, finger quotes, die, even though he doesn't die according to the little manga they did after.
Yeah, I remember you was talking about that when he was down here.
I'm excited. It's gonna be interesting because they did a lot of stuff in Crisis Core that kind of made Wu-Tai look really good.
That's true too.
The Leviathan material being their god.
Yeah. So they can pull from Intergrade as well as fucking Crisis Core when it comes to Wu-Tai. Yeah, Wu-Tai's gonna get it.
She'll probably have as much added as Red 13 because they added a lot of stuff for Red 13. Usually, for those who don't know, who have lived under a rock for the last 27 years, when you beat Gi Natak with Red 13 and Cloud and whoever else you choose, and this one it's just Red 13 and Barrett, sees his father, cries. That's it for Cosmo Canyon. That's really it for Red 13.
Yeah.
You can go back and see Bugenhagen. I refuse to say Bugenhagen.
I know.
Dies. You can go back and see him die later on towards the end of the game.
Oh, shit. I didn't do that.
You can do that, yeah. You can
that's so cool.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure that's the case. Or he's about to die something.
Yeah, well, you continue that.
Yeah. But they will probably do stuff instead of just it being Wu-Tai, they'll add something to it. Because they added the fact that the Gi tribe is the one who made the black material. Spoiler.
How do you feel about that? Like, I feel like I like the inclusion. I feel like a lot of emotional moments got like a bit of like Cosmo Canyon moment.
Yeah.
Like the whole him crying shit. It like happens, and then we move right on to the fucking Gi shit.
Yeah.
I'm like, I do like that shit.
And yes, that's me holding the gavel still. I liked it. They kind of expanded because I don't remember if they really go into who made black materia, but they hate Spectre because they can die and Gi tribe can't. So like, well, we're just going to blow the planet up.
I'm playing the original 7, and I think they mentioned them in like one line.
Yeah, they just mentioned them in that one Cosmo Canyon.
Yeah.
And that's really it.
Yeah. So I do really appreciate that expansion.
And the whole addition, this is not what you asked, but the whole Temple of the Ancients being expanded upon, kind of giving you a backstory. I like that. Yeah,
I like that too. I like the the traversal shit. It was kind of like it was kind of a cross between like a Tomb Raider setting and like Jack and Daxter 3 a little bit for me.
You're talking about where you keep splitting up.
Yeah.
It took a goddamn long time for sure.
You weren't lying because I remember you told me, "This act is be ready because this act is long as shit." Mm-hmm. Oh my god, I was not ready still. Yeah.
I did that from that all the way to the end of the game on a Saturday night. This was steak.
Yeah, I broke it up.
Yeah.
So since you mentioned it, Knights of the Round, I want that shit to be part of like that story. Like,
yeah, it'd be good as a part because they can't use it as a summon. That's for sure.
Well, I heard somebody mentioned this as an idea. Like you face individual people from the Knights of the Round, and you know how you get pieces of a summon.
Yeah.
In the field, maybe
basically
do it
like Final Fantasy 15 when you get the glaives and shit.
Yeah.
The little tunes and shit.
Yeah.
Like that.
I would love that.
That'd be cool.
Yeah. And it's like you can make it a quest, like an ongoing quest throughout the fucking like areas that you visit.
Yeah.
I would love that shit. And then, once you got them all, you don't have to. You think it should be a thing where you have to have them all to use it?
Yeah, you gotta get all 151 Pokemon.
Yeah. Fair enough. All right. So speaking of summons and shit and other things being actually canonical to the story now, let's talk about the weapons. Weapons are like super canonical to the story.
Yeah, guardians of the planet.
They look
like whales now.
They look like whales now. But what does that mean for
Emerald, Ruby, Diamond.
Right.
Shade weapons.
So what's your idea for this shit? You want them to be incorporated? You want them to stand alone?
Because that took me the long. I didn't beat all of them until 2007, I think.
Shit. I didn't know that.
Yeah, it took me a long time to beat. I can't remember who I beat first. I beat the first one in like 04 or something. Not including Diamond. I'm talking about just Ruby and Emerald.
Shit.
Because I was young and stupid.
I always thought you knew. Because you always fucking like I've seen you defeat it with ease.
Oh yeah, now, but back then I was just spamming Knights of the Round thinking I was gonna be okay, and that never turned out to be the case.
Yeah,
and then I found out the combination of material. I was like, oh, this is
right.
Loops them. They're just done for now.
I appreciate the game is still like that. Like it really depends on your loadout. You gotta have a loadout to fucking make sure.
Yes, especially with the combat sims.
Yeah, right. I found that out playing hard mode and remake. Like it's really just about your loadout.
Yeah.
So that's what we want from the weapons. Having part of the story.
I wanted to be a nightmare again.
Yeah, they gotta be nightmares,
fuck my world up again.
Yes. Like, how'd you feel about, speaking of like secret bosses, how'd you feel about Gilgamesh?
I liked it. He's pretty tame on normal. Then when you fight him in the combat sim, it's automatically going to hard.
Right.
And his little ultimate move, he just keeps spamming.
That's right.
The last quarter of his life, so you got to really move it, and he will kill you.
He was in the middle of a New York City while you were telling me this. Mm-hmm. And, that shit stayed with me. I was like, fuck.
Yeah, he is a pain in the ass. Especially the fact that you have to fight him the 8th or 9th in the last, like this 10, I think it's all 10, or all summons in a row. I think he's 8 or something. And the last one, I forget. I think it's Odin and Bahamut or some shit.
That's the part I'm up to right now.
My memory's real fuzzy on all this. I kind of blocked it out at this point.
I'm not even fighting him yet. I'm still fighting the pairs of summons that you have to fight to get to him.
But he wasn't even the hardest. The hardest one was doing it with Cloud and Zack.
Oh yeah.
Because the last one there is Odin, and when he charges up Zantetsuken, that's when it's a fucking. Yeah.
Any strategies, tips?
Find out. You're going to find out like we all did. Right. No, I mean, re-raise on your people, especially if you're talking about Odin, or are you talking about Gilgamesh?
Odin.
Re-raise and, what's that? One card where you get 1 HP. It saves you with 1 HP left.
Oh, shit.
You know what I'm talking about, that one. Keep that on you. Yeah. Because if he hits down Tatsuken, he'll take you down to at least 1 HP. If you got re-raise, even if you die, you'll come back with some health. And usually he's about dead right then. But also learn to parry, learn to block, dodge. Don't let him hit you a lot, because that's what builds up his meter for that.
I'm gonna fucking have to come back to this part.
Reprieve is the ability I'm thinking of. Make sure you got all your armaments too, like your Genji stuff and stuff like that. All the good stuff. Don't go in there half-cocked. And know the material, like know the ins and outs, like what you're gonna need. Magnify on it.
Yeah, magnify. Yes. Fucking magnify and
absorb.
Yeah. Those are staples.
Or elemental rather. Yeah.
So about Rocket Town. So Rocket Town, like, you know, that's where you meet Sid at originally. That's where you get like the aircraft.
Yeah, you get the tiny Bronco there originally instead of him just picking you up at an airport.
So my shit is like, do we even need Rocket Town anymore? Like, we got Sid already. We have the vehicle. I think in your notes you were like, he's not even like an asshole anymore. So do we even need to explore?
He probably won't be a prick to that girl if they do have it.
Yeah, he's a different time.
The only thing we really need it for is his backstory, I guess.
Just with his background with Shinra.
But Shinra, he doesn't seem like he hates Shinra for not letting him go into space.
Right.
So there's that. But we do need it if Meteor is going to come down, because they put the giant material in there and send it up, and then it doesn't work. And spoiler alert again.
Maybe they consolidate it all.
Yeah, it's possible.
Because you don't get that part of his story until a little ways after Rocket Town.
Yeah.
In the original game?
It's the Cloud's with you, so it's towards the end of the second disc.
Yeah.
I think Cloud's back. Yeah, Cloud's back.
Yeah, Cloud's back. That's also where I'm at in the original right now. I'm right at the point where I think you're about to fight. What's that fucking Ray? Is it Sister Ray?
That's the gun. That's the Mako cannon.
The Mako cannon?
Mako cannon.
Don't you fight that at that area?
No, you fight... Damn. Who do you fight? I mean, I know you fight Diamond Weapon when it's going to Shinra HQ, but I don't really remember what you fight there.
You don't, that's not what you, no, you don't clash with.
Are you thinking about what Scarlet and Heidegger are in?
Yeah.
That's when you land in Midgar to go fight Hojo.
Okay.
You quote unquote kill them before you fight Hojo.
Speaking of that, also, I really like that Scarlet and Tifa and Aerith kind of
the girl power fight.
I was like, great, because this also gives Tifa some more juice towards the end, because
when they have their little slap fight.
Yeah, you can't do that slap fight no more, because they gotta be throwing hands.
I mean, especially has to throw hands. Scarlet, who gives a shit about Scarlet? She's a bitch.
She can get beat the hell up.
Yeah, Tifa need to piece her up.
Yeah, that's gotta be a boss fight.
Get the fuck out of here, Scarlet. Before I throw down. Blades of Glory reference.
Yeah, it is. So it's just up here somewhere.
I'm sure it is.
What else? Vincent fights Hojo. Right. So you talk about in the third game, Vincent has to confront Hojo. Has to have his own cutscene. What you looking at?
Rewind for a second here. I know you're trying to do this in like 30 minutes. Right, 27 minutes. 27 minutes in. So the fact that they introduced Vincent the way they do is I love that he's a boss. You know, he said, "I told you not to go in there," and then he turns into the Galleon Beast, and you fight him. And
that's one of the best surprises.
I wasn't ready for this.
Me neither. And you know what? I was playing the demo when I played the demo. I was like, "This looks like a fucking boss fight's about to happen." And then I'm like, "Oh, that's probably where Vincent is." I didn't put two and two together. That Vincent.
I asked you, like, "Did you get here?" You're like, "No, not yet." I'm like, "Okay." There's something coming.
That was a great surprise. I'm glad that they did it that way too.
So that expands on him a little bit.
It does.
This one they should, instead of, because they took Cloud out of the Gina talk fight in Cosmo Canyon. They just made Red and Barrett do it because Barrett's a strong brother who is about the planet, about his roots. And so why not just have Vincent fight Hojo instead of having all of them fight Hojo, because he's got beef with Hojo the most.
That's what I'm saying, yeah.
And they'll expand, he'll get his spotlight, I would assume.
Right. Like I would much rather be a Vincent only thing.
Yeah.
I would love for it to like kind of line up with where he meets what's her name? What's her fucking name? Lucretia.
Sephiroth's mother.
Yeah, just consolidate all that, expand all that shit, like give him his own little section the way everybody else does.
Yeah.
And that should be fucking dope.
Yeah. Because he's the only one that didn't get he got his background told in the story, but he didn't get anything else.
Yeah, just a cutscene.
And they said that, or Nomura, whoever said, he wished he could have gone into more detail for that. And then they gave him Dirge of Cerberus, which I've never fucking bothered with.
Right.
As much as we've tried over the years, it just never happened.
Yeah, it's not a great game. Even
but at least you get to fight the final boss as the combat sim secret thing in Intergrade, which is the only reason I really wanted it. You get to fight Weiss. Oh
yeah, I did hear about it.
I only wanted the game to do that.
Just to whip his ass?
Yeah, just to challenge. I'm a sucker for challenging the hard bosses and
secret boss type shits. Yeah.
Always.
So speaking of that, like a good opportunity to like expand or like get like a little taste of how Vincent and Sid and you already got a taste of how you feel play. Mm-hmm. And maybe just even introducing her into like an Intergrade Part 2, but like doing an Intergrade Part 2 for Rebirth. Like a DLC like they did for Remake. Yeah. I feel like that shit, it lines itself up. Yeah, it writes itself. It lines up Vincent. Well.
It could be Sid they do. It could be anybody really.
I would love it for it to be both of them. Mm-hmm. Like for Yuffie, it was her backstory. Mm-hmm. For this, I would love it to be like some sort of a bridge between.
It could be Vincent's story or backstory as a Turk. It could be Sid. It could be the Rocket Town stuff where it could be all that.
Yeah.
So who knows?
But they should do it.
They should do it. 100%.
Absolutely. Yeah. I'm interested to see how somebody like Vincent would play.
It's gonna be. He'll probably play like Barrett for the most part.
Yeah.
With his Spawn-like cape from Advent Children. Teleporting around.
I still love that shit. That's absolutely how he should be.
That's what he should do, yeah.
Yeah.
And Sid is just going to play like... trying to think of a spear user.
Yeah, I don't know, really.
But he'll have his funny walk, I'm sure.
That's what I was getting ready to mention. Like,
it's funny run.
We just noticed that in Advent Children that this motherfucker takes off doing that goofy run that he does when you control him in the original.
His boxers are too tight or too far.
Yeah, that's I didn't appreciate it when I was young, but now that I'm the tender age of 30-something, I understand why Sid is running like this. Yes. Yeah, that's an absolutely be like his running animation. Yes. All right, so when the third game is out and it's all said and done, and there's an opportunity to do a third DLC for the third game, absolutely Advent
Children stuff, because they've already. I can't remember who said it. I looked it up and was reading about it because. Again, Final Fantasy mood. That's why I got into looking up Sin in Final Fantasy X, which is a different story altogether. But the most terrifying enemy in all of Final Fantasy is a giant whale. That you can't escape.
Inescapable death.
Inescapable death, yeah. I was looking it up, and they said that the three, I guess they were wraiths or something, at the end of
Remake.
Yeah. Are, at first I thought they were just like, oh, they're Cloud, Tifa, and Barrett from another time or another universe. It turns out they're supposed to be Kadaj, Yazu, and the other guy whose name is escaping me at the moment.
You use starts with a Y, I think.
Yeah, I don't forget
the buff one, right?
Yazu is the
Yazu's the buff one.
I forget.
The other one is so
I didn't do any.
The other one is so like because he looks just like Kadaj. He doesn't really stand out that much. He's so like forgettable, at least in my opinion. Yes. I know you know your name.
Yeah, him.
Yeah,
that guy.
That guy.
Yeah, they should do, since they've already introduced that, just do Advent Children DLC, retell the movie at this point, may as well.
Yeah, do whatever little tweaks you got to do to make it line up with whatever changes you made in these last few games.
I mean, they could even do Dirge of Cerberus at that point.
But, I would love. Actually, you know what? My idea is absolutely do Advent Children, but like you can also make an epilogue out of it. I feel like though, if you do an epilogue, you won't get as much meat as you would if you did a DLC. But then if you did do a DLC and you had that as an epilogue, you could do some Dirge of Cerberus shit. But if I had to choose between the two, I would want Advent Children as a DLC.
And side note, they've already introduced characters from the game where Sephiroth is a kid and just joined
Ever Crisis,
and because the blonde guy whose name is again escaped. I did no research. They've introduced him as a guy in this, working for Wutai, etc., quote unquote.
Is he really?
I guess he is. That's what it seems like to me. But again, I didn't play it. But they could probably expand on that, which I'm sure they will. I'm sure they'll just do that in the third game. But DLC, Advent Children, Dirge of Cerberus stuff. Mostly Advent Children.
And I feel like because they do kind of show up ethereally in Remake, that you could tie it alongside this being like, this is us just doing this shit again. Type shit. Like we tried it the other time.
It didn't work. Now we got
Geostigma. Maybe we can do some Geostigma Plus type shit. Where you can't just step into
the bath of Eris.
The ghetto gospel.
Yes.
And heal all your ailments.
Yes.
I would love to spin on Advent Children.
Yeah, just at this point, I mean.
And that final fight was Cloud and Sephiroth. Like that, I feel like that's almost as iconic, or not as iconic, but it's up there. Like you in the original, you just do Omni Slash. That's it. You can't lose. And
Sephiroth has 1 HP.
And I do like in these games that you do get to fight him like in his regular appearance before you fight him as a fuck off beast. Even though you do fight him as a fuck off beast in this one as well.
You fight Bizarro Sephiroth.
Bizarro, yeah. So I would love it like a straight up just 1-on-1 Cloud Sephiroth fighting in like a city environment.
Yeah. Or just on the edge of the universe thing like they did originally. Just go ahead, go for it.
Yeah, but like
you talking about an Advent Children DLC?
Yeah, but
that's different. Yeah.
If they do I doubt they might do the single button push thing.
I hope not.
I hope not either. But they might decide to end it on. They might.
Yeah.
So if they do, and they do the one button push or make it out a cutscene, and then you fight them for real by yourself, Cloud, Advent Children, I won't be mad.
Yeah.
But I would like to fight them on the edge of the universe as well. Just make that a whole fight.
Yeah.
And then you do you can run that shit back. I don't give a fuck. I'll pay him again 1-on-1 because
waiting for this shit for 20 years. We can find him as many times.
Yeah. So when Kingdom Hearts beats you to the punch twice, you can run this shit back as many times as you need to until you feel like you want to screw.
And they felt like, oh, you did it in Crisis Core. It's like, yeah, but even Crisis Core was just bleh.
What's the best Sephiroth fight? Real quick.
The recent one.
Most recent one?
Recent one. It's better than Kingdom Hearts to me.
Better than the first remake?
It's not Sora.
Better than the remake?
Yeah. Because we'll see. I just noticed this in the remake. It's everybody fighting them. It's 2 people, and the last
one it will be Cloud.
But I do like that Aerith is fighting him.
I do too,
because he's trying to get rid of her most.
Right. And I wouldn't be mad if Nah, don't do that. I was gonna say maybe she shows up at the final fight.
I'm done.
Heals you maybe. No. I don't know.
I did not like in this one that they tried to fake us out on her getting stabbed. Just stab her. Don't cut her.
Yeah. I didn't appreciate the fake out. I didn't appreciate tell me straight up or not. I'm glad they definitively tell you at the end. If they kept it a mystery up until the next game,
people would have.
I would be so upset right now.
At least you got to actually pull. I think you get to do it in the original one too. It's been 5 years since I played the original one. I played it a year before remake came out.
Do what?
The remake one. Yeah, you get to actually hold the sword up and when you're about to cut her.
Yo, that shit is so fucked.
Yeah.
And you know what? At least in this one, he don't beat the shit out of her.
When he's
dumping the shit out of her in the original.
He ground and pound her like fucking Randy Couture circa 2005.
Yeah.
In his prime.
Yeah, replaying that shit. I was like, yo, they can't do this.
They can have him chase her like a psychopath.
Yo, that was crazy though.
Creepy. I felt like a stalker. I was like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, that shit was pretty awesome. I'm not gonna lie. Anything else? I think we're closing it out. Anything you want to mention? All right, y'all. So that's the spoiler-free podcast. Court is adjourned. You want to do that one more time so the camera... Hold on. Wait.
Yeah. No. Miss Galloway. Point of order. All
right, so
that's your first and only warning. May I go, Miss Galloway? May I be excused? You know, Mr. May.
That's the podcast, y'all. I appreciate y'all, Joey. I appreciate you. Mr. Grimm. Mr. Grimm, I appreciate you. I don't know who this J person is. Mr. Willie's son?
Mr. Willie's son, you don't play that shit.